So on this video, we're going to do a somewhat different kind of example. Suppose cosecant x equals -3, and the terminal side of the angle is in quadrant 4. Find cotangent of x. Blah! Well, you need to draw a diagram or you're not going to be able to figure this out. Okay, so draw diagrams always for this kind of problem. Actually, for all these problems, I've been drawing a diagram, right? In the CS, you go in the CS plane, and you draw a diagram for this stuff. So remember, cosecant of x is 1 over sine of x. So what we really have here is that, which is the same as hypotenuse over opposite. Now I could just say, okay, cosecant x equals -3 means sine x equals -1/3, and just go from there if I want. But I think I just did this directly. So cosecant x, hypotenuse over opposite, it said cosecant x is -3, so I just wrote that as a fraction, because these are always ratios. So it's -3 over 1. So the opposite side is 1 and the hypotenuse is 3. And it's supposed to be in quadrant 4. So you draw I just drew a triangle in quadrant, like as if it was in quadrant 1, with the angle rho, and the opposite side would be 1, and the hypotenuse would be 3. Now, actually, it's supposed to be in quadrant 4, so really it should be -1, right? Which is where the negative comes from for the cosecant. But for now, I'm just going to find what A is, the unknown leg. And so, just Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus 1 squared equals 3 squared. That gives me a squared is 8. And so A is the square root of 8, and it's going to be the positive one. So that's square root of 8 simplifies to 2 square root of 2. So I just write that in my triangle. And now actually what I should have done, to be honest, is I should have made that 1 a -1 to begin with. You can just start off with it negative, right? Because remember, the hypotenuse is always positive. So if this is -3 over 1, the negative actually goes with the 1. But anyway, so I redrew it that way. I could have drawn it this way initially. I don't know why I didn't, but right, so that's in quadrant 4, and the s coordinate of this endpoint of the hypotenuse is -1. The c coordinate is 2 square root of 2, and the hypotenuse is 3. So you know all 3 sides. So now you can just find any trig function you want. They only ask for cotangent of x. So cotangent of x is 1 over tangent. Tangent's opposite over adjacent. So cotangent is adjacent over opposite. So adjacent to the angle x. So that's 2 square root of 2 over -1. So it's -2 square root of 2. Right? So I just wrote this out for you here. -2 root 2. How do we say that in shorthand? Okay, so that's the answer. So this is how you do this. You always draw these diagrams. If you're not drawing these diagrams and you're trying to do this in your head, you're wasting a lot of energy, and you're probably not going to get particularly good at this. So make sure you draw the diagrams. And again, I could have, instead of drawing this first diagram as if it was in quadrant 1, I could have just put it in quadrant 4 to begin with, and just put the -1 here to start with. Probably should have done it that way. But this gets the rho in there so you can see what rho is.